The story begins in a room within a residential building where Chen Yuan is staring at his phone screen and crying. The cause of his tears is a text from his girlfriend, breaking up with him. Through his tears, he texts her, asking what's suddenly wrong and promises to work hard to give her a happy life. But she blocks him before he can send the message. He collapses on a chair, appearing lifeless. His roommates, unaware of his distress, invite him to play a game, but he ignores them and rushes out of the room. Observing his odd behavior, they assume he's going through another breakup. It's the sixth one this month. On the street, people notice Chen and whisper about him. They recognize Chen Yuan as a notorious dog licker. Chen is there to meet the girl who just broke up with him, Shutong. She warns him not to make a scene as everyone is watching. Chen, believing she's just angry, offers her favorite guava pork and pleads for forgiveness, promising to change whatever she dislikes. The crowd laughs at him, gossiping that Chen works 4 part-time jobs to buy her gifts, yet she still dumped him. Shutong explains she isn't angry. Her ex-boyfriend came back wanting to reconcile, and after much thought, she decided he needed her more. Angrily, Chen calls her ex a scumbag, reminding her that he cheated on her and made her have an abortion. As he shouts, a Mercedes pulls up, and her ex tells her to get in. Before leaving, Shutong tells Chen it's best they don't meet again to avoid misunderstandings with her boyfriend. She drives away, leaving Chen standing there, staring after her. Chen throws the food in a dustbin and enters a convenience store, grabbing a water bottle. As he drinks, he wonders why his heart is always betrayed and if he will remain a dog licker forever. Frustrated, he crushes the bottle and decides there's nothing wrong with being a dog licker. Suddenly, he receives a notification about the most vigorous dog licking system, detecting a host. A screen appears, displaying his biodata and stats. Shocked, he tries to touch the screen and inadvertently touches the chest of a girl standing nearby. She yells at him, calling him a pervert. The system shows her data. Her name is Wale. It informs him that if her favorability towards him exceeds 95 points, she will transform into his licking dog, and he will receive 10% of the amount spent on her as his personal property, along with other rewards. Deciding to use the system on the girl before him, Chen apologizes and offers to pay for her meal. The system successfully binds their dog-licking relationship, with his mission being to counterattack Zhua. The reward for completing the task is 10% dog-licking gold and 5 strength points, which enhance physical attributes like fitness, mental strength, and agility. Zhuale, a popular girl in the art department, once made a man spend 30,000 yuan on her with just 3 words. She smirks at Chen, challenging if he wants to play rich and flirt with her. Onlookers think he's in trouble, but Chen smiles and says she'll know if he's worth it if she tries. She decides to test him, asking him to pay for snacks for all her classmates at the canteen. Though she thinks he looks like a beggar, she's stunned when he transfers 50,000 yuan to her account. The onlookers are equally shocked, thinking he must be a hidden rich kid despite his appearance. Chen smiles and asks if he can add her on WeChat. Zhua, intrigued, agrees but says he must come with her to a place first. Nervously, Chen agrees, having never been this close to a girl before. She takes him to a brand store, claiming she just wants to see his sincerity. He tells her to pick whatever she wants, hoping to test the dog-licking system further. Inside, he hears a familiar voice and sees Shutong shopping for luxury bags. Saddened, he watches her. Zhua notices and comments that she must have come at the wrong time, but Chen smiles and says she's arrived just in time. Zhua asks the shopkeeper if they still have a bag from the spring sales. The shopkeeper replies that there's only one left, but another lady is trying it. Shutong notices Chen and taunts him, saying she can't believe a broke guy like him brought a girl into the store. She tells her boyfriend, who's annoyed as she just celebrated her birthday last month. She explains it was based on the lunar calendar, and now it's the solar calendar. Her boyfriend, irritated by her materialism, questions if she's with him for his money. Nervously, she backs down. Zhua takes the bag from Shutong, saying she'll take it if she isn't buying. Chen pays the bill, increasing Zhua's favorability towards him to 60 points. Smiling, he realizes the power of money. Zhua decides to grab this big fish and calls Chen hubby, thanking him for the gift. Shutong, feeling insulted, pushes Chen as she leaves, telling him he's gone too far. Chen smirks, thinking they still have a long way to go. The system prompts him to bind the dog-licking relationship with Shutong, noting her current favorability is 10%. Once her favorability exceeds 95 points, she'll transform into his licking dog, with a reward of 10% licking gold and 20 strengthening points. Zwa asks if he's relieved now and if she did a good job, wondering where they'll go next. Chen laughs, saying they'll do more shopping. One bag isn't enough. In another store, he points at various items, telling the shopkeeper to pack everything except 2 things. Zwa's favorability continues to increase as he buys her designer perfumes and makeup. Eventually, she tells him it's enough as she can't fit more in her rental house. Chen offers to buy her a house, but she feels ashamed, saying he's already spent a lot on their first meeting. Her favorability drops by 5%. Chen, worried he scared her, reassures her by listing facts about her. She's a junior in the College of Fine Arts, 21 years old, 165 centimeters tall, weighs 49 kilograms, loves black, enjoys Korean food, is a Capricorn, wears size 37 shoes, likes horror movies but is afraid of walking at night. He assures her he wouldn't be so forward if he wasn't sure about it. He then tells the shopkeeper he wants to load their store value card for exclusive members with 500,000 yuan, ensuring that whenever this lady visits, she'll be shown the latest models directly. The shopkeeper follows his instructions. He then tells Wale that if he scared her, she should consider this card a peace offering. Looking at him affectionately, she starts blushing. Leaning close, he whispers in her ear that if she can't handle it, she should give herself to him. She shyly slaps him, calling him a bad boy, which increases her favorability towards him by 30%. Even the store employees begin to admire him, commenting on his generosity and consideration for girls' feelings, despite his modest appearance. Chen reflects that flirting as a rich man has a vastly different effect compared to doing so as a poor man. Zwale, appreciating all he has bought for her, asks if he doesn't want to buy something for himself. He replies that he has no money. She then says it's her turn to give him a present, thinking that to catch a big fish, she needs to give something back. She takes him to a men's clothing store and buys him a few outfits, then to a salon for a new haircut. With his new look, his entire personality seems transformed, and Zwa's affection for him grows. For the first time, Chen feels the importance of self-care. Zwa lifts his chin with her finger and remarks that they look like a good match now. She then thanks him for a wonderful day, admitting she almost felt in love for a moment. She blows him a kiss and bids him goodbye, leaving his current favorability at 68. When Chen returns to his room, his roommates are shocked by his new look. They ask what he has been doing all day and why he is dressed so differently. He casually mentions he went on a date with Zwa. They are skeptical, reminding him of his troubles with Shutong and doubting his chances with Zwa, who is highly sought after in the art department. Later, he receives a text from Shutong suggesting they delete each other's numbers if he hates her. Chun knows she is trying to mess with his head. He thinks deleting her number would hinder his ability to increase her favorability and earn rewards. He replies that he can only hate her if she holds a special place in his heart. She confesses she is with her current boyfriend because she is vain, needs 50,000 yuan for her mother's medical expenses. Without hesitation, Chun transfers 50,000 yuan to her account. Shocked, she tells her friend about the generous transfer. Her friend, surprised, asks who would do such a thing, and Shutong shows her Chin's name. She begins to question if dumping him was a mistake and decides to ask him about his money and relationship with Zwa. However, she is disappointed when he doesn't reply as he has put her contact on Do Not Disturb. Chun realizes Shutong is too predictable while Zwa cannot be rushed. He ponders where else he can legally spend money on women and decides to try a live streaming platform. The girl on the live stream mentions she has an hour left before going off air and urges viewers to send gifts quickly. Chen, amazed by her quick earnings, decides he's in the right place. He sends her a large amount of money, shocking her and the other viewers. An employee at the streaming platform's headquarters informs the boss about an unknown tycoon spending 10 million yuan on a live stream, which astonishes the boss. Other streamers start sending Chun private messages, hoping for some of his generosity. Zwale, amazed by the 10 million yuan gift, thinks she's dreaming. She receives a board from the boss, confirming a 10% raise if she keeps this high spender engaged. Determined, she sends Chun a kiss and thanks him for the gifts, requesting a private message. However, Chun sleeps peacefully through the night. The next morning, his roommates are excitedly discussing a news report about someone spending 10 million yuan on a live stream. Chun wakes up, hearing their conversation, and realizes he spent a lot of money last night but didn't establish any binding relationships. He concludes that the bonding must happen in real life and laments the wasted money. Checking the messages on the app, he wonders if he's digging himself into a hole. His roommates are excitedly heading somewhere, and Chun asks what they're up to. They remind him of a public class where they can see the campus beauty, Xiao Yuki, up close. Xiao Yuki, the dream girl of all the boys, is a talented pianist, ballet principal, and second-level athlete, making her highly unattainable. Chun sits in the student hall, catching the attention of some girls who comment on his newfound handsomeness. He thinks about how no one has been able to win over Xiao Yuki in 3 years, wondering how much it would cost. Shutong and her friend sit a few rows behind him. Her friend notices Chin's improved looks and asks if he's dressed up for Shutong, who admits it seems likely, though her heart is conflicted due to her relationship with her current boyfriend. Chun, noticing Shutong's increasing favorability, thinks she is shallow but focuses on his plan to win over Xiao Yuki. Suddenly, a guy tries to impress his friends by approaching Xiao and asking for her WeChat. She ignores him, but her roommate, Wu Zofei, confronts the guy, scaring him off. Chen steps in, boldly asking Xiao for her WeChat, causing a stir among the students. Wu Zofei is impressed by Chen's confidence and asks if he wants to join the student union, but Chen replies he is not interested. He straightforwardly tells Xiao he wants to chase her, making her blush. Surprisingly, Xiao agrees to share her WeChat, shocking everyone. Shudong's friend questions if Qian isn't supposed to be Shudong's fish, but Shutong is furious watching Chen's actions. Chen reflects on the simplicity of his approach, believing that all women love to be pursued. The system successfully establishes the dog-licking relationship, though Xiao Yuki's current favorability is 0. After class, as they leave the university, Chen's friends praise him for getting Xiao Yuki's WeChat. They note how much he has changed recently, joking that he now looks like a dog. One friend asks if Chun can get Xiao to introduce some of her friends to them. Chun downplays it, saying she's the school beauty and he's nothing special, accusing his friends of exaggerating. Suddenly, the guy who Wu threatened earlier calls Chen a loser with self-awareness, sarcastically commending Chun for his wisdom. Chen retorts that the guy is more professional and that he should learn from him, which enrages the guy. He accuses Chun of being a blind cat running into a dead rat and warns him not to be too proud. Just then, Zuolei appears, complaining that Chen is slow and she has been waiting for him. The boys around them are shocked to see Zua talking to him. Chen responds that he wouldn't dare keep a girl waiting and offers to buy her dinner as an apology. Zua asks if she looks good in the clothes he bought her. Chen praises her, saying the clothes were made for her and the bag looks best when she carries it. They walk away talking, leaving the crowd in awe. The earlier guy starts crying, wondering why he's always a step behind. Shutong, also crying, feels overshadowed by Zua despite being first. Zua and Chen go to a restaurant, where she gives him a portrait she drew of him, staying up all night to complete it. She warns him not to discard her casually. Chun is surprised, as it's the first gift he's received from a girl. Zua smiles, asking if he likes it. Chen wonders if this is a trap she set from the moment he spent money on her, but he smirks, knowing he's not who he used to be. Zua, sensing his lack of enthusiasm, feels he didn't like her gift. Chen asks why she gave him the portrait, mentioning she stayed up late for him. He takes it from her hand and asks how she plans to be responsible if he doesn't receive such good gifts in the future. Zua yells that he scared her and demands the painting back, but Chun says he wants to keep it as a family heirloom. He pulls her closer, saying he likes her better in person than in her gifts. Blushing, Zua thinks Chun is an expert in flirting, and her favorability increases by 5 points. Chun thinks that if she wants him to be her dog, she must be a good tool and bring in more money. Suddenly, someone interrupts them, pushing them apart. It's Wang Yu, nearly in tears, asking Zwa why she lied about getting her nails done with friends. He accuses her of hugging Chin because he's wealthy and laments that despite chasing her for so long, she never let him touch her hand. Chin, familiar with this treatment, thinks Wang must be Zwa's licking dog. Zwa asks Wang who he thinks he is to her and says it's none of his business if she falls in love. Chen steps in, introducing himself and asking Wang how long he has been chasing Zwa. Wang replies he's from the fine arts department and has been chasing her for half a year. Chen tells Wang that he chased a girl for 3 years, worked 4 odd jobs, and lived on steamed buns and pickles, but she chose someone with a Mercedes-Benz. He advises Wang to focus on self-improvement and make a name for himself to make her regret her choice. Inspired, Wang starts crying, thanking Chun for his advice. Zwa is puzzled by their conversation. Wang tells Chun he's just a friend to Zwa. Chun, however, says he doesn't care about her past but feels disrespected. He tears the painting in front of her, telling her she can use yesterday's card but they won't meet until she gets her relationship in order. Leaving the cafe, Chun laughs devilishly, eager to see how Zwa will handle it. Zwa starts shedding tears, realizing it's the first time someone has treated her like this, increasing her favorability by another 5 points. While walking on campus in the evening, Chun thinks about women and how they shouldn't be taken for granted. Checking his phone, he notes Zwa's progress but decides it's time to focus on Xiao Yuki. He discovers that Xiao is live streaming, showcasing her talents in singing, dancing, and piano, asking viewers for support. Chin finds her cute and wonders if she's warm beneath her cold exterior. He sees her earnings and thinks it's too low. Suddenly, he receives a text from Zwa, reminding him of the gifts he sent her. When he asks if she's free to meet, she initially declines due to a packed schedule, but he tells her not to bother. She then offers to do a special dance for him that night, but Chun is angry, feeling she's trying to trick him into spending more. Frustrated, he considers giving his money to Xiao instead. Xiao receives a notification for a PK, performance battle, and Chun decides to watch. Ziru, confident in her skills, thinks she'll easily win. Chen watches, thinking it's hard to predict the outcome. Ziru tells her viewers she's matched with a new girl, Xiao, and boasts about her chances. However, she's shocked when Chun starts sending multiple rockets, gifts, to Xiao. Ziru becomes worried, realizing she's losing her supporter. Her boss demands an explanation, and she apologizes to her viewers, signing off early. Chun, pleased with the turn of events, watches Zhao's live stream. At the headquarters of the live streaming app, an employee informs the boss about the significant gifts Chen sent, wondering if he's a Middle Eastern prince. Wu tells Xiao her broadcast is trending, suggesting she might become an internet celebrity. Xiao, surprised, says she doesn't want that and believes the most important thing for a woman is career and financial independence. Wu asks if she knows the guy who sent the gifts, and Xiao replies she doesn't. Annoyed by his curiosity, she decides to thank the gift sender privately. Suddenly, Xiao screams. Wu asks what happened, and Xiao shows him her phone, realizing the rich man is Chen Yuan. She speculates that Chun, despite his low-key nature, is a wealthy and well-educated individual who prefers to live an ordinary life to avoid the scrutiny of others. One day, he meets the girl he loves and bravely pursues her as a commoner. Xiao thinks this must be Chen's story and asks her if she is reading too many novels these days. She does not care what Wu thinks and says Chen has lived well since childhood, so pretending to be ordinary must be challenging. Now she has to thank him sincerely. Chen comes back after taking a shower and sees Zhao's text. She invites him to dinner tomorrow and says she will wait for him at the school gate. Chen thinks that she did not ask him where he got the money for the gift, but simply invited him to dinner. He wants to see what she is up to. The next evening, he reaches the school gate on an electric bike and stops near a luxury car. The middle-aged man with a cigar outside the luxury car asks Chun if he is waiting for someone. He replies yes and asks if he is waiting for someone too. The man replies that he came here to pick up his goddess. Xiao appears on the road, and Chun looks at him in shock. The uncle tells Chun not to look at her and says Chun must work hard to earn money, or uncles like him will pick up all these beauties. Xiao looks at Chun and sits on his bike behind him. The uncle is shocked to see that beauty choosing that guy's bike over his luxury car. He kneels and cries, asking what the purpose of making so much money is. Xiao feels like riding a heavy bike and sitting with her husband after marriage. They arrive at a local restaurant, and Chun parks his bike outside. Their orders of spicy and garlic dishes are served. Chun starts serving her food. She adores his manner, thinking he forgot to be a gentleman even in a simple stall. It is the style of a noble family. Chun passes her the glove box. She smiles and thinks he treats people with a sense of propriety. A little more and they will be attentive, a little less and they will be cold. He is a very disciplined family man. Chun wears a glove and starts eating lobsters with his hands. She looks at him and thinks this must be the smallest lobster he has ever eaten. She thinks that if he is so rich and eats with her, he does not want her to be stressed out. She thinks he is such a soft, gentle flower of the highlands. Her favorability towards him increases by 10 points. Surprised by this sudden increase, the lobster falls out of his hand. She picks up a lobster and feeds him with her hands. She blushes and says she will peel the shrimp for him. He is amazed and starts liking her generosity. When she is feeding him, Shang and her boyfriend enter the restaurant. She is shocked to see Xiao feeding Chin shrimp. She is worried and thinks first it was Zhou Liu and now Xiao Yuki. She wonders how he could be so capable. She tells her boyfriend Junkai that there are too many people here and asks if they can go somewhere less crowded. He grabs her and says he thinks there are a lot of acquaintances. He tells her that he is a person who likes to eat in crowded places. He goes to Chin's table and throws some money at him, telling Chun to take these $500 and give him his seat. Chin looks at the currency notes fallen there and wonders what Junkai is doing and if he thinks he looks good like that. Junkai throws more notes and asks him if these are enough before Chin shows any reaction. Xiao stands up in anger. He thinks that he was provoked and wonders why she is so angry. Xiao angrily thinks about what that dog thinks of himself, daring to mess up her perfect date. Seeing all that money, a guy comes there and tells Junkai to give that money to him, and he will give his table to Junkai. Junkai grabs him by the shirt and angrily says he wants this table. Suddenly, he gets hit by a purse, and one of his teeth breaks. It was Xiao, and Chun was stunned to see her being this brave. At that very moment, a vast woman appears on the scene and tells Junkai that he eats her food, wears her clothes, drives her car, and asks how he dares to use her money to pick up girls. That woman looks furious. Chun looks at her and is scared to death. Junkai, who just got hit by Xiao, grabs his face with one hand and asks why Xiao is here. She thunders and asks if she had not been here, how she would have discovered that he was having fun with women behind her back. She says Junkai is a beast worse than a pig or a dog. Junkai tries to play innocent and says she has got it all wrong. He asks how he could have a woman. He says that she has given him everything, and there is no way he could betray her. He grabs Shang by her hair, pulls her, and says it was her. She seduced him. Shang cries and says that Junkai is lying. He asked her first and also said that he was single. He slaps her on her face and tells her to shut up. Shang looks at him with tears in her eyes. He again raises a hand at her and tells her to lower her gaze. Chin grabs his wrist and stops him there. He asks Junkai if he does not feel ashamed of himself while hitting a woman. Shang cannot believe that Chin took a stand for her. She thinks he still loves her, and her favorability for him increases and reaches the target point. The system informs him that Lin Shang, the dog-licking partner number 2, has a favorability score of 95 for the host. It congratulates the host for a successful counterattack. Dog-licking target 2 spent 50,000 on dog-licking gold and rewarded the host 5,000 yuan. Lin Shang is transferred into a licking dog. The host is rewarded with 20 enhancement points. With those points, his strength and agility increase. Chun bends Junkai's arm. Junkai gets hurt and asks him to let him go. He lifts a bottle from a table and tries to hit Chun with it, but Chun breaks the bottle in Junkai's nose with one punch. Chen tells him that there is no shame in eating soft food, but he is a beast who eats soft food and beats women. Junkai feels insulted and brings out a knife from his pocket.